Um, Piracy is a kind of massive problem in terms of how you make the commercial reality of the business actually work. The things that make compromise piracy are quality. Generally, very little that's done in the realm of piracy ever really matches the delivery or the quality of the actual original program. So that is a factor that I think will. I don't think the piracy. I don't think they're going to solve that one immediately. But probably as time goes on, they will catch up. Quite how you fend it off. I mean, in essence, what you need is you need a degree of expanded collective agreements around the world about how you fight it. And as long as there are territories around the world who are just going to say, well, we don't really care whether stuff's pirated through us or not, then that's going to become an issue. But I think technically, codecs, the fact that, the FBI and the government in the States at the moment can't get Apple to unlock an Apple phone is an interesting indication of if you really want to lock something up, you can actually do it. In that case, they're doing it with a 4-digit PIN or something. But as I understand it, the problem is that if you do 3 tries, then the thing wipes. So I guess we're waiting for someone to come up with something that's as foolproof as that to try and prevent the expansion of the kind of piracy issue. Something else may happen, which is that the way that programs are paid for, this is what they call monetarized, how they're actually paid for, may also change. And what you traditionally think of as box office, which is I make something, I then have to charge someone to see it. The nature and the way in which that money is made may be not simply relying on people watching it. It may be to do with product placement, and sometimes, probably increasingly, to do with what they call branding, which is just simply the desire for a company to be associated with a program. And then on that basis, as long as that association is there, they don't care if no one pays to see it, as long as they're associated with it. And the value of that may increase substantially, particularly with some of these people who aren't actually looking at it to necessarily make money. Google don't need the money. I mean, hell,
Jamie
they
Dornan
have to pay the tax.
driving a BMW next series.
There may be an element, yeah. Well, there may be an element of that, yeah.
I sort of have a follow-on question
Yeah.
from that. Just to kind of play devil's advocate, really, but sort of pick up on what you're saying. Because if you lock content, then it makes it difficult for people to share. And a big part of so-called piracy is not about people necessarily trying to make money off it, but about that whole process of sharing and that dialogue that you were talking about in relation to Twitter.
Yeah.
And I just wondered whether that fits into what you're saying as well, that need to create something which people want to talk about and share and becomes a big thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you've raised that, because the other sort of textbook response to this, and my brain's a bit befuddled, so I didn't think of it, but the textbook response is actually the people who are looking at the way that the recording industry have gone and what has happened to music and music piracy and the way that the big entities have dealt with music piracy, and also how talent has dealt with music piracy, which is that the fact that people are ripping my music and sharing it isn't necessarily a bad thing, if ultimately what it means is it's taking them somewhere to my next concert. So for heaven's sake, have it. Share it, multiply it, whatever. The end game is not to get you to pay for the right to listen to what I play. The end game is to get you to my next concert, where I'm going to sell you a T-shirt, I'm going to make you stay for 3 days, and I'm going to charge you 500 quid for a ticket. I mean, that's obviously what the equivalent would be in relation to television or film. I'm not sure, but But yeah, I mean, that's sort of probably, there's a versioning of that in terms of the recording rights business, which I think the recording rights, they had to wake up because suddenly revenue from selling records just disappeared overnight, didn't it?
I guess in a funny way it's happening with some of the YouTubers as well, isn't
Yeah.
it?
It is, yeah. Yeah.
You know, people are paying
That's
a lot
not
to go and
about...
watch them.
Sorry?
People are paying a lot to go and see these people who are producing them.
Yeah, I think at that point the material becomes a means to an end. It's not the end in itself.